Hello and welcome to my channel, Infinite Intuition. If you've been here before, then welcome back. If not, then just welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video today. So we're going to be doing a similar thing to what my last post-election video was, where we're going to be bringing in a pendulum at the end and asking some questions. But let's just go ahead and get right into it and see what this weekly energy from December 15th to the 21st is going to be like. So I already kind of feel like some big, wow. Okay, that one wanted to come out a little bit. This one did too. Yeah, I already kind of feel like some big energy coming out because I was like shuffling my cards to kind of get some new energy flowing. Leave the reading that I had just done, in the past and moving forward. So yeah, just shuffling my cards, and I was shuffling one of my oracle decks and I already had cards flying out. So I feel like this one wanted to come out. Okay, so let's see what we got so far. So 15th through the 21st, this card. Okay. We have the Four of Swords that wanted to pop out. Though when I picked it up, it was in reverse. So let's see what that means. Okay. Ace of Cups. Okay. King of Wands. Okay. King of Swords. We have the Knight of Cups, though it was in reverse. Let's see. We have the Fool. Eight of Wands was also in reverse. Let's see if we can get some more cards. Two, three, four, five. 10 of Wands, but in reverse. The Fortune Fairy, and also the Two of Pentacles. Okay. If you were in my last video, it's no surprise if you stayed for the whole video and got to the pendulum part with some of the questions I was asking. If you remember the questions I had asked, it's no surprise that the card that I had asked to represent. No, this is not. No, hold on. No, that wasn't Biden. Never mind. This is 45. This represents 45. I don't know why I got a Biden vibe from that, but maybe because of what Biden's doing. Okay. We have got some new beginnings coming up. The King of Wands is somebody who had appeared in, I think maybe like 2 post-election videos, where he's the person, whoever he represents, I'm not sure, because I do feel like he represents a person where he takes no shit kind of thing. So maybe he has some new beginnings for us. Usually the Four of Swords in a couple of my past post-election videos has been seen as a sign of like hope for the people. Still having hope but feeling drained and tired. However, this time I'm not getting that vibe from this card. Not this time. We've got so many reversals in this row with Trump, with 45. Sorry. I don't want to say his name. I want to just say 45. I feel like this week from the 15th to the 21st, I believe I've said. 15th to the 21st. May not be a good time for him. He may be losing hope, as well as his followers, who I do feel like represent the Fool card, not being so happy and at bliss at this time. And I feel like, because I don't think the Eight of Cups is presented before. I could be wrong, but I don't think it has. But I know this image has with the Eight of Wands. I feel like they represent people in the government, and they may be the ones who are bringing information to light. Excuse me. Causing 45 and his followers to not be so happy at this time. When drawing the Fortune Fairy card, which represents the Wheel of Fortune in tarot, it first presented to me in reverse, but then I also felt like it needed to be upright too. So I'm kind of wondering, when it's reversed, it ties in with this middle row here in regards to 45 and the people working with him or his followers as well. But upright, I feel like it's the opposite side, feeling more in their power, maybe in them regaining their bliss. I also feel like the Two of Pentacles, with just how this person is, it's kind of like, it's like us. I feel like there's, in the last election video I made, I felt like there was information being revealed to the public. And I kind of feel like this is us as a country, just watching the TV like, oh my God, what is this? This is chaos. You know, kind of thing. And usually the Ten of Wands in tarot shows an image of somebody like carrying too much on their shoulders. But this deck is different. This shows, you know, a child. And this popped up, I believe, in my very, was it my very first post-election video? It was definitely at least like the first two, maybe three, but I'm getting the first two from memory. I think it was like the first two, where I said that this card represented some kind of innocence in some way. But when we're looking at the Wands card, I'm also thinking like fiery energy. And so with it in reverse, I kind of feel like this might be the fiery energy from 45's followers, 45's voters, where they think they have all the information, but they don't, which I think brings in their sense of, being naive, that naive innocence kind of thing. And so I feel like that is now reversed. Whether that means those people are turning against 45, it might actually represent that naive innocence is a breaking for a lot of people. Not to say that there aren't going to be people who are, not to say that everybody who voted for 45 is going to quote unquote turn against him, but I feel like majority are. And I feel like this represents that energy, their followers, his followers, his voters, losing their hope and losing that naivety, innocence in him. And this person's going to be presenting something or like standing his ground. I don't know who he represents, but I think he represents somebody. Okay, let's go ahead and look at our oracle cards now. So this was the deck that I'm not going to shuffle, because this is the deck that actually, as I was shuffling to make sure, like, get some new energy flowing, these cards just popped right on out. So we're going to go with them. Ooh, okay, we've got mystery, concealed, structure, source. I kind of feel like that has to go in the center, and blocked. Okay. Okay, so what I'm getting from this, excuse me, there is probably still going to be some mystery lingering. Like I said in my last video where I was talking about the post-election, some things are going to be brought to light. I don't think everything will. And so I do think that there's still going to be some mystery hanging on there. There may still be some things concealed from us. Whatever this source may be. And I think that has to do with protection of the people, possibly even protection of the government. But the government has their sources. They have their source. This person probably has their source and is coming after 45. I do feel like there's going to be structure brought back to the people, but I also feel like this structure, because we were talking a little bit about laying the foundation in my last video, and that's kind of what I feel like with this. It's the foundation. And what I was just hearing was the foundation needing to be shaken up a little bit, which was something we were also talking about in my last video. Things needed to be shaken up a little bit. With the blocked card, I feel like he's going to be blocked 45 is going to be blocked. His people are going to be, you know, the people he's working with are going to be blocked. This one wanted to come out. Okay, we got self-acceptance. Okay, divine protection. Bottom card also wanted to pop up. Divine connection. And strength again. Okay, this popped up in my last video as well. Maybe this one is also calling out to me. Wow. Freedom. We got freedom. And I feel like one more wants to pop out. This one. I'm just kind of seeing something with the oracle cards, which is why I kind of made that sound. Oh, okay. And rest. This has popped up before. Okay, so I'm going to talk about why I went first. So my last election video was talking about how, yes, this could resemble the strength of the government, finding their strength again to find information on 45. I'm not necessarily getting that vibe again. I'm getting of that like them finding their strength again. They've already have it now, and they're moving forward with it. But I had mentioned that this man in the card, even though the card is showing him holding something in his hand of like what he collected, which could mean, like I said last time, it could mean the information that was collected. But I also see this as a hand reaching out to somebody, even though they're not shown with anybody else in this card. And last time I had said it seemed like somebody in the government being like, all right, come on, let's go, you know, take my hand, time to go fight. And that people were coming up one by one, ready to fight. This time, however, I'm seeing it as those who have either woken up already to what 45 has been talking about and realizing, oh no, I shouldn't have voted for him. But mainly what I'm seeing, this man representing those who didn't vote for him. And so these people who did vote are having some self-realization right now. They are accepting the fact that they made a mistake. And so if we put these cards together, I feel like it's those who already have an understanding, helping those who once didn't have an understanding, but now they do. And so I think as a whole, as a community, we are pulling each other back up. We are finding structure again. But we are also, while this stuff is going on with 45, we are still in that mode of rest, not letting him get to us. But maybe when we see what is happening with him, is going to allow us to, as I think as a whole, as a majority, to rest more. And then divinely, we are both being protected and find a connection again. With spirituality, I know a lot of people were really coming at spiritualists like astrologers and tarot readers for their wrong prediction after the election. Because, you know, on election day, it looked like 45 won. When you have all of these spiritualists who are saying no, you know, they had said beforehand, like, no, he's not going to win. It's going to be Harris. So many people said this. And then after the election, so many of them were attacked. And a lot of people, I think, lost their faith, lost a lot of their trust with predictions like this. And you have tarot readers and astrologers trying to defend themselves, because we can really only do so much, right? We're just reading off of current energy. But I think a lot of people are actually going to be finding their faith again, finding their connection again. And this entire time they are protected. They will always be protected, whether they come back or not. But then with freedom, I think we do have a sense of freedom possibly coming back to this country, where we feel like a lot of freedoms are going to be lost if 45 is inaugurated. I just realized, cutting off some of my cards, but yeah, I just feel like a lot of freedoms are coming back during this week's energy. Let's go ahead and get some oracle cards. Okay, actually, no. I feel like some more want to pop out. This deck, I should say, is always very responsive. That one. Okay. If we need any more, I'll shuffle again. But we're going to start with the Milky Way. This is the one that actually flipped out first. It have networking, marketing, social media, publicity, internet, fame, expand, exposure, spotlight. I feel like this week we're going to be seeing 45 in the spotlight a lot more, but I don't think it's in the way. I don't think it's in a good way. We'll see how these other oracle cards pop out, but just because he has so many reversals in the line with him, I don't think it's in a good way. But also with networking, I kind of feel like people and the government still working together with certain things. Yeah, social media, it's also going to be information out there with the internet. I'm also getting a connection with like ballot boxes if it was electronic. I'm getting that as well. I feel like his fame is kind of gonna go down a bit. Like, again, have all those reversals in line with him. Oh, this card, okay. This one snuck in. I wasn't gonna do any zodiac, because this deck that I have here isn't just nuance oracle cards. It's also planetary cards, zodiac cards, and spirit animals. And I wasn't going to do any of those extra cards. I was just going to focus on the nuance ones. But this zodiac card for Gemini popped out. What's funny about that is that 45 is a Gemini. Wow. Alright, so I think that definitely just represents him. He's definitely in the spotlight this week. Wow, okay. We have garden again. This popped up in the last video. Public venues, society, crowds, audience, party, meeting, event, a date, community, outdoors. So definitely more about publicity, being out in the public, having an audience. Like, again, just watch an audience of people watching their TV or videos on social media. You got Clover. Luck, happy coincidence, reward, good fortune, unexpected rendezvous, carefree, a fling, flirt. Luck. I feel like luck on the people's side with this fortune fairy. Mask, disguise, conceal, ego, projection, hidden motive, persona, representation, theater, performance. This definitely makes me think of 45. This card popped up last week as well. So even though there may be, I think, some negative things his way, he's still going to be masking. Ball and chain, again, this popped up last video. Heaviness. This to me, I don't even think I need to read all of it. Okay, now I'm getting something else with that as too. Maybe we're leaving the heaviness behind now as a whole for a lot of us. I'm getting he's feeling trapped because we have the trapped word in here. There's also emotional baggage and unhappily married. And I feel like that's him with Melania. I also feel like addictions for him, with addictions, I don't know, he could be doing drugs for all I know, but, or the drugs he is on for his health maybe are addictive. But addicted to performance. Addicted to being in the spotlight, even if it's not in a positive way for him. He's addicted to it. Waterfall, flood of emotions, abundance, overflowing, tears of sorrow or joy, release, fulfillment. Ooh. Okay. With this, it makes me think of those who are not with him having this flood of emotions. And it could be letting go of the sorrow and feeling joy again. Having this release of negativity and bringing in the positivity. I think abundance popped up in the last video. It might have been with this kind of a card deck. Yeah. Oh God, just a lot of emotional weight being released. House, home, belonging, roots, comfort, safety, family, traditions, building, shelter, boundaries. So I get two things from this as well. One is that this card has popped up before in a past election video, and it was representing the White House itself. And I kind of feel like a community coming together. But I'm also getting a community coming together with individual households as well throughout the country. And it could be in relation to the strength and self-acceptance. Not to say that everybody is going to be accepted back. But I kind of feel like there may be some households that have an understanding and are forgiving. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling like. But also some households still setting boundaries for those who may still be in support of 45. But it could also be holding boundaries even if those people, or even if certain people who did vote for 45 are realizing, oh, hey, I made a mistake. But maybe they were somebody who voted for 45 every single time he has run, and you have certain households being like, no, look, that's it. That is it. Because we talked about this before. This election especially was very heavy on morality. Not that it wasn't before, but it was very heavy this time around, because it's just kind of like, oh my God, look, open your eyes. Come on. And a lot of people just weren't. And so we're having boundaries with those people who either still aren't opening their eyes or have opened their eyes, but there's trust broken there, and therefore setting boundaries to be like, no, I'm sorry, I can't trust you. We have bridge, communication, unite, connecting, integrate, overcome barriers, share, harmony, compromise. Definitely a lot of communication, I think, all throughout. Probably not even in the country, but throughout the world as well, because they're paying attention. So we got a ton of communication going on, but we also are having uniting coming on, connecting coming back with Milky Way and the networking, still having communication and connecting that way too, but also overcoming barriers, even though we have boundaries, but overcoming barriers, either being proud of yourself to have a boundary, like a hard boundary, or overcoming, I don't want to say overcoming boundaries, but maybe like learning. Some households may be learning to be a little bit more forgiving, that kind of thing. So other people are kind of like overcoming those barriers to be like, no, I'm sorry, things like that. But to each their own household, okay? That's, people are going to do their thing. But finding harmony, I think, as a whole again. Yeah. We got fireworks, passion, chemistry. We got celebration. Okay. I'm not going to read all of the words in that because a lot of them don't actually, a lot of them don't actually work. But we also have holiday. It's a holiday season. So it's going to be the 15th to the 21st, right? Yeah. Meaning when this video comes out, the next week is going to be Christmas for some people. If you celebrate Christmas. Yeah. So celebrating around the holidays, celebrating maybe what's going on with 45. We also have magnifying glass. Get more info, clarity, research documents, examine the fine print, more details, or important details, I mean. So possibly things are still going to be looked at. Like I hear looking at the finer details. So I feel like information is either going to be examined more closely. Maybe there's somebody he's up against. Maybe it's this guy. And that guy's looking at the finer details against 45. Yeah. We also have child, beginnings, innocent, brand new, creativity, spontaneous, carefree, and experience, tender. So this goes along with the innocence of this card. But also the new beginnings from this card. Brand new information, maybe. It's also what I'm hearing. But I do think this card mostly resembles those who had put their trust in him and it's now breaking, and so now we're having a new beginning of them realizing that. Celtic Knot, unconditional love, legendary, divine union, eternal love, infinity, love of a lifetime. This makes me feel a lot of that divine energy, divine connection, divine protection, and the divine's love for everybody. Trophy, victory, recognition, success, reputation, win, fame, goals, awards, ambition, achievement. So this is making me think the achievement of the government finding the information they needed for 45, and then I feel like there's an overwhelming victory for those who didn't vote for him, and if they did, are now against him. And so there's a sense of victory. With the stork, we're definitely talking about rebirth and change, transformation, renewing things. Okay, we got woman. This isn't the same woman card that's been popping up lately, so this could be actually a different woman. This could actually represent Melania. Because obviously she is somebody that he knows. We were talking about that ball and chain. Tree, grounded, fertility, lineage, health, vitality, roots, personal growth, past lives, evolving. Okay. I feel like multiple things are coming through. The tree represents, I think, the rebirth, the renewal that's coming through. Also structure with the grounded. Personal growth. We were talking about those who did vote for 45 who didn't really know any better, who are now evolving and having that growth, that self-acceptance. But with health and vitality, I'm actually getting 45's health. Because he's not in the best of health. He's just not. Double rainbow. Divine intervention, duality, perfect timing, ascension, serendipity, good luck, cohesive. So we have another card about luck, because we got luck with the clover. Now we've got good luck with the double rainbow. But divine intervention, divine connection, divine protection, divine love, divine union. So I don't think it's just talking about the divine intervention where the divine are watching what's happening and protecting us, but also those who question their faith, question faith in general, question this kind of stuff with predictions and stuff, are going to be coming back in. But also perfect timing. I feel like the perfect timing of this coming through, perfect timing of maybe certain messages, like spiritual messages, like this one coming through. Ascension of those discovering themselves, accepting the fact that they made a mistake and are now growing, but also an ascension, I think, for those just spiritually as well. A spiritual ascension for us as a whole. Broom. Don't need it. Unwanted. Unpleasant. Repetitive. Feels good when it's over. Unavoidable. Clean up. Okay, so cleaning up, I think, this past month, from the election to now, just this past couple weeks, these past few weeks, how unpleasant they've been. We don't need this energy anymore. It's unwanted. He's repetitive, it's just the same thing with every election that he's doing, and we're done with it. And then feels good when it's over. Feels good when it's over. Okay. Which makes me go into some of the questions that I had asked in my last video about the election. Which we will be asking those questions again, but if it's the same answer like it was last time, where is he going to be inaugurated in January, and that answer was no. Feels good when it's over. It feels good when his energy, what he's trying to do, is over. And then again, this happened last video as well. We have the cross, destiny, spirituality, divine guidance, trials. Ooh, okay. Conviction. And we also have necessity, duty, crisis, fate. Maybe this person has been representing this entire time whenever he's popped up. Again, there's no shit, it takes no shit attitude. Holding a trial and convicting him. So that is something to ask our guides about. But also we've got spirituality. So again, what I've been talking about, people finding their spirituality again. Also spiritual connection, spiritual protection, destiny. I'm also feeling like this was meant to happen. Last week I had asked about if the reason he won the election, was that meant to shake things up and put our country back on a better path? And the answer was yes. Okay. We can also ask that again too. Feel like, because it says fate for him as well. So let's go ahead and ask some questions. Okay, hold on, let me push this up actually, so you guys can see my hand a bit better. I don't know if I had my hand in view, this hand I'm talking about, because I don't want people to think that I'm manipulating it in any way. So I'm just going to wait until my pendulum gets enough energy. By the way, if you weren't here for my last video, her name was Mia. There we go. Okay, so my first question for the week of December 15th to December 21st, 2024, will 45 be on trial? Okay, that's a yes. Please go back to a neutral swing. For that same week, will 45 be convicted? That seems a little fast to me, just logically. Let's go back to a neutral swing. Thank you. Will this trial go into 2025? No. Please go back to a neutral swing. Will we still be hearing about 45 in 2025? Yes. Go back to a neutral swing, please. Will there be other trials for 45 in 2025? No. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to ask questions that I had asked in my last video. So I'm just going to wait for Mia to go back into a neutral swing. So, will 45 be inaugurated in January? No. Please go back to a neutral swing. Will Kamala Harris be inaugurated in January? Yes. Please go back to a neutral swing. Will President Biden enact the Presidential Emergency Act? Yes. Please go back to a neutral swing. Will this emergency act tied to 45's trial? Yes. Please go back to a neutral swing. Will the emergency act be the reason he is convicted so quickly? Yes. Please go back to a neutral swing. Will President Biden enact the Presidential Act December 15th through the 21st of 2024? Okay, that's a yes. Last week, sorry if I was a bit shaky, but I have to lean forward a little bit and my back is not the best. Sorry, yeah, because I got back pain, so I'm sorry if I was a little shaky. But last week, I had asked if Biden would enact the Presidential Emergency Act from the 8th, or during the week of the 8th to the 14th, and it said no. So now we have a yes for it for this week. Okay. Let's see, do I want to ask anything else? I could ask some of the questions that I asked last week. Oh, there was one question that I had forgotten about. Based off current energy, I can assume what that question is. Or what that answer would be, Will there be a delay in the inauguration? No. Okay. That's the question I had forgotten about last week. So, answer is no. Can you please go back to a neutral swing? Thank you. Okay. So, questions I had asked last week was if 45 is not inaugurated, will there be riots across the country? Yes. Can you please go back to a neutral swing? Will there'll be riots if there's a chance Kamala Harris won't be inaugurated across the country. Okay. So, yes, riots across... Wait, that was a... I felt like I answered, or I asked that really weird. If Kamala Harris is not inaugurated, will there be riots across the country? No. Okay. Yeah, I asked that question the first time really weird. Can you go back to a neutral swing, please? If Kamala Harris is not inaugurated, will those riots be only at the White House? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Can you go back to a neutral swing? If 45 is not inaugurated, will we have to fear the riots that will come from him not being inaugurated? No. Okay. Okay, so we're going to end that there. So those answers were the same as last time. So therefore the energy is still the same. Hold on. Will we see riots during 45's trial? Yes. Makes sense. Please go back to a neutral swing. Will we have to fear those riots? No, that was like almost immediate. No, we don't have to fear them. Okay. Alrighty. So yeah, I think this month is going to be rather interesting if this prediction is accurate. So thank you so much for coming by and watching this video. I hope you found it interesting just like I did. I'm going to be doing 2 more videos after this one for election stuff. And yeah, we'll see what they say. So again, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you found it interesting, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.